Paul Pierce to Dwayne Wade.
Oh my goodness, perfect.
Couple of ways to look at this,
No, there's not.
and here's why there's a couple ways to look at this. There's such a thing as the greater career, and there's such a thing as the better player. All right? Those are not one and the same. All right? So before you respond, please look at, think about it from both of those angles. What is the genesis of this particular argument? I believe Paul Pierce.
Who had the better career? That's what I understand.
Okay, and it was Paul Pierce that made the first statement. Do you know how it happened?
It happened when he was on the show. You know how they do the pregame, postgame show, whatever.
Yeah.
It was he, Jalen Rose, and Michelle Beadle.
Yes.
And Michelle Beadle asked him, in so many words, they were having this conversation, and they said, who had the better career? And he says, me, of course. But he proceeds to take it past the fact that, I'm better than anybody I ever played with. I mean, I get that.
He said he's better than
your boy Dwayne Wade.
Okay. Well, you just said he's better than anybody who ever played with.
What I'm saying, if I'm a player and you ask me, and we're talking amongst ourselves, like, yo, was Kobe better than you? Like, nah.
Right.
I was better than Kobe. Mm-hmm. But then there's a point where you start to like talk stats, and you start to get into details, and you're trying to unpack something that doesn't make sense.
Right.
That's what he started to do. It didn't add up.
Okay. So
It didn't.
What did he say that didn't make sense?
One of the things he was talking about was that if you were to give him Shaq when he was 24, 25 years old, he would have had a championship. He also said if he give him LeBron and Bosh, and he would have had a championship, and he would have had a few more championships. He said specifically, from verbatim from his mouth, he would have had 4 or 5 championships.
Okay.
I don't think that is a valid reason for you to say, hey, I had a better career than Dwayne Wade, because it's not factual. You didn't get Shaq. Matter of fact, you did get Shaq, but he was way out of his prime. We understand that. You beat the Heat. So you didn't need LeBron or Chris Bosh.
He also said he would have done it easy if he'd have had those guys playing with him. Easy.
Bro, Paul Pierce is a beast.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Now, greater career and better player. I think Dwayne Wade is the better player, but his pocket of greatness was much shorter.
Really?
Yeah.
You think so?
Because they probably played long. I feel like Paul Pierce played longer.
Paul Pierce played
than what
longer.
Dwayne Wade is going to play.
Right. Wade's greatness was, 6 or 7 years. Paul Pierce probably put in a good 15 years with, 12 whose stats you got up?
I got numbers right here. Yeah, I'm ready.
Which one do you have? You have them both.
I got both.
Okay.
So we're talking now. I don't have the stats, but I have more of the accolades that come with it. All right. So D Wade, 13 All-Stars appearances.
That's what we need to.
Paul Pierce, 10.
Okay.
You got
13 is amazing, by the way.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And so Dwayne Wade drafted in
St. Brown with
2003.
3.
He was 5th overall pick. He debuted in the NBA at age 22, which is important. Okay, and his original position he was listed at also is point guard. All right.
What year did he win the championship? Dwayne Wade? What year was that? Was that 2005, 6?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're talking about 3-4 years after this guy won the championship.
Yeah, and then
he
the
had
other
Shaq.
thing.
That's all.
Well, no, he also had the Miami system.
Okay.
Again, this is getting drafted into the right place.
Okay.
It's like your boy Kobe. Charlotte Hornets Kobe is nothing.
Yep.
Lakers Kobe, 5 rings. You know what I'm saying?
With Shaq, yep.
Right.
Well, okay, next thing. Dwayne Wade, 8-time All-Star. Paul Pierce, 4. Big difference.
You said All-Stars?
Oh, no, all NBA. I'm sorry.
All NBA.
All NBA.
8
all
to
NBA.
4.
8 to 4.
Does that include first, second, and third team?
I don't know which one it includes, but it says
it's
all
all
NBA.
3. Okay.
Then it's got, as far as all defense, Dwayne Wade, 3 times. Paul Pierce, 0.
Okay.
Dwayne Wade,
Slow.
3 rings. Paul Pierce, 1. All right, so that's the first thing you're kind of looking at. The numbers don't back up what
He's trying to say.
Paul Pierce is trying to say. I mean, listen, I think he's a great player. For me, Paul Pierce's game, the thing that impressed me the most was he could shoot, but he also had footwork. The footwork to go with his athleticism. He really, in my opinion, is not the most athletic dude.
No.
Right?
No, he's not.
No.
Little slow-footed,
Definitely.
but he knew how to create space, virtually kind of unguardable
Highly
one-on-one.
skilled.
Yeah.
He's highly
So I
skilled.
take nothing away from him in regards to that. But if you're going to sit here and have a discussion and try to do a comparison, between me and this other guy over here, and you don't have really the numbers and everything else to back it up, then you kind of make yourself look like you might not really know what you're talking about. So yeah, and then even to the point that Gabrielle Union jumped in, Jared Dudley got on there. He said cocaine is a hell of a drug. Both have great careers, but D Wade is the third best shooting guard of all time. I kind of pay attention a little bit to when some players say certain things like that, but
Not the third, but
I do have some stats here for you. I do have some stats. So here we go. In a 15, well, here we go. Paul Pierce had 26,397 points, 15 NBA, I guess, game history. Dwayne Wade had 23,065 points.
So
All
Paul
right?
Pierce hasn't beat.
Yeah, but I think he played more seasons.
He has
too.
again. He
played more
has
seasons.
definitely more seasons.
Rebounds. Paul
Go ahead.
Pierce 7,527. D Wade 4,913 at this point. Assist. Paul Pierce 4,708. D Wade 5,680. And
See, that's where D Wade creates a little bit of a gap in the argument. Because as I mentioned, D Wade is originally listed as a point guard in 2003-2004 season. For his career, he averaged 5.4 assists, 4.7 rebounds. Paul Pierce, more of a classic three-man, a go-to scorer for sure. Right? So if you ask me, you need a bucket?
D Wade.
I think there's a question there.
There's a question?
Yes,
I'm going D
This is
Wade.
why they bought him here. Paul Pierce said that.
Hold on.
What Dwayne Wade says is that this is my house.
Hold on. D Wade, right now, right this season, if you needed a bucket, will get a bucket.
Clutch
Whether
bucket.
it's a jump shot or anything. They weren't going to know Paul Pierce to get a bucket when he was on the Clippers all those years.
No. He was on the Clippers 1 year.
He was only 1 year. He
was
was
on the
like 2 or
Clippers
3
1
years.
He was
year.
1 year
Okay.
there.
You see, okay.
Okay, I
Let's
apologize.
talk about Paul Pierce's career. Okay. Because I get what he's saying, and there's only way to answer the question is the way that he answered the question. There's no way he's gonna put
He was on the Clippers
he's
1
gonna put Dwayne Wade ahead of himself. There's no way that's gonna
You
happen.
have to realize when there's somebody better than you.
Yeah, but how could there's nobody? Paul Pierce is not going to look at Dwayne Wade as better than him.
Yeah, he's not going to look at Dwayne
Why?
Wade.
Why?
I know.
I don't get
but
that.
then he's gonna make himself look bad because when
But I don't think he makes himself look bad. Okay, Paul Pierce, 6'7", 235, small forward and shooting guard. He was drafted 10th overall in 1998. All right, so 5 years there on Dwayne Wade. Okay, for his career, Paul Pierce is averaging 19.7 points per game, shooting at .445. There is no way that a guy that produces like that for 15 seasons in the NBA, whose number is going up in the rafters in Boston Garden, thinks that Dwayne Wade is better than him.
19 points.
19.7. That is 20 points per game.
That's cool. There's a lot of 20-point scorers.
For career?
There's
No,
a lot
there
of
isn't.
20-point dudes.
5.6 rebounds per game.
I think there was
5.6 rebounds per game, 3.5 assists per game, 1.3 steals per game, shooting at .445. That is a Hall of Fame career, and that person is not going to look at Dwayne Wade as better than them.
Now, here's the thing. I will say this. If I played with Paul Pierce, I'm insulted. Because if you're talking about Kevin Garnett, you're talking about Ray Allen.
Old.
You're talking about Ray John. It don't make a difference. They came to play with him, and he got one championship out of it. Yet he's complaining that if I had Shaq or if I had LeBron, I would have won more. Like, I just
Right.
I just don't see him. He was a type of player. I think he was a good player, but you couldn't necessarily
player, Joe.
completely count on him because it
You
took him
absolutely can count on that dude to
not
get
to
you
not to
buckets.
do any damage.
When-
You can absolutely count on you. Not
so-
to do damage. How do you score 20 points a game?
I'm not talking about 20
for
points a
15
game. I'm talking
years?
about winning championships. He didn't sniff a championship till he got KG, Ray Allen, Rajon Rondo, and only went one time and won something in the finals.
Okay, that's fair.
So I mean, there's a lot of guys who can drop 20 points. I mean, look at Allen Iverson. If Allen Iverson was sitting there at the table and he
And
says,
I wouldn't say that he didn't sniff a championship because in his rookie year, 16 playoff games, 25 per game. In his second year, 10 playoff games, 27 per game. His third year, one series, four games, he had 20 per game. Next year, 7 playoff games, 23 a game, then 20 a game in the playoffs.
but he's not taking you to the promised
This
land.
Joe, this is the playoffs. 21 a game, 19 a game, 21 a game, 19, 19. Through the prime of his career, he was in the playoffs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 seasons up to age 33 and performed at a high level in each one.
He ain't played at a high level, but he ain't taking you to the promised land.
Was last year he was in the playoffs? What year was that?
With the Clippers.
With
But
the
that didn't
Clippers.
matter. I'm talking about last year in his prime, he was in the playoffs, was probably 2011 and 2012 in Boston.
Yeah.
And he averaged 19.
If he
And that was
doesn't-
with Ray Allen and KG.
If he don't have
His
Ray
scoring
Allen,
dropped.
KG, Rajon Rondo, he don't probably even make the finals.
Conference finals.
Like I don't see him. I think he's a good player again, but I just don't see him as that dude like a Kobe, a Mike, or D Wade is on a high level in regards to the level that he played at. Like I mean, D Wade's phenomenal.
That athleticism, the will.
And I'm not saying he's
By
not
the way,
unstoppable in stretches.
And at age 24 in the playoffs, Paul Pierce, 25 per game, 9 rebounds, 8.5 rebounds to be specific, 4.1 assists, 2 steals, 1.3 blocks.
I'm not saying he's trash. He's not better than
And that's
D Wade.
over a 16-game
How
sample size.
about D Wade's numbers in the playoffs?
All right,
He
here we go.
probably was looking
I
good.
was talking to someone today, right?
Okay.
About this, and I didn't read it, so I can't say that it is 100% true. But the gentleman told me that that he read somewhere that if D Wade were to play next season all 81 games and score average 0 points,
I saw that.
he would still average more career points than Paul Pierce.
Yeah. I heard that. I
Dwayne
read
Wade
that.
is averaging 22 per game for his career.
I read that.
And Paul Pierce averaged 20. Paul Pierce ended his career with the with the Clippers and the Nets, where he wasn't at all effective. Dwayne Wade, I don't believe that, by the way, and here's why.
I read it. I read that.
That if he played another year and didn't score, he would still average more
I have to
than.
find it though. I read that. I'm gonna see if I
Come
can
on now,
find
don't make me do the math, because Paul Pierce averaged for his career 20 points a game, man. And Dwayne Wade averaged 22.
I feel you. But remember, this career, I don't think does this season factor into those career stats already,
Yes.
even though it's not
Yes.
done yet?
Yes.
Okay.
19.7 Paul Pierce average for his career. Dwayne Wade is at 22. All right. Dwayne Wade's last few years, 14.7, 12, 11, 11.4. Shooting percentages, 43, 40, 45, 44, 43.
You know, Gabrielle Union weighed in.
Yeah, that could definitely bring your percentages down.
Gabrielle Union said,
That'll definitely take away some.
what I find most troublesome is
Some
the idea
explosiveness.
of a man trying to diminish another man
Listen.
that looks like him, was raised like him in order to shine
Oh,
a
my
tad
goodness.
brighter.
This guy,
Ish isn't entertaining. It's sad.
She's turning into Mrs. Christie.
That's it.
since
She's taking up for her man.
Since Dwayne Wade got drafted, 16, 24, 27, 27, 24, 30, 26, 25, 22, 21, 19, 21, 19, 18. He started averaging under 15 points in 2017.
Right. And if you look at Paul Pierce's numbers down that same line, it's going to be right there, the same thing. Now,
But Dwayne Wade did it in less time too, though, with those stats. because Paul Pierce played longer than him.
Yes.
So you can look at that too. For the sample size, he did it a lot. He did a lot more with a lot less time.
For me, this is like really simple. Like for me, is like when I see both careers and what the person did for the team. I see D Wade, and he got drafted in 03, and the 08-09 season he won the chip, and it was on him. Like this time, it wasn't on Shaq. It was on him, and I see
And
what
all he had was one player, Shaq.
He had Shaq. He had
Old
Haslam.
Shaq.
Well, wait a minute. So, truth be told, the season before that, Dwayne Wade
Average 27.
carried a team deep, very, very deep into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Kobe and Shaq thing broke down, right? But it was Lamar Odom and Dwayne Wade that carried that team deep.
Oh, okay, and then made the trade.
And then they made the trade for Lamar Odom for Shaq.
Yep.
Okay, so
I mean, and I'm not gonna sit here and say Dwayne Wade was the only person on the team, because Shaq was there and he did do a lot. And if you look at interviews with Shaq talking about playing with Dwayne Wade, Shaq said that he really wanted a chip that year because he really wanted a chip without Kobe as well. So he definitely played a part on that team, even if he was out of his prime, even if he was old. But Dwayne Wade, he averaged 30.
he did everything.
He did everything.
He did everything. He did
Threes.
Just leave it
Like-
alone. Like you could just easily say, like, listen, we had two different careers. We both had great careers. We both going to the Hall of Fame. That's all you got to say.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right. I just don't think it's a slam dunk that you can just be like, Paul Pierce is not on Dwayne Wade's level. I just don't believe that. I believe that Paul Pierce is on Dwayne Wade's level. And I believe if you rank all time, Dwayne Wade is going to be higher ranked, but I can't see Paul Pierce being too far of a fall off from Dwayne Wade. I'm going to give it to Dwayne Wade because
defensively,
and his agility and all of the things that he could actually do with the ball. But if I want 2 points, I'm going to Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce to score. Absolutely 100%. I need a shot made. Paul Pierce.
I'm going Paul Pierce one-on-one. That's what I'm going with. If you're talking about a situation where somebody's got to create,
yes,
I'm going
right.
D-Wade.
And not taking anything from Dwayne. Okay, right, because Dwayne Wade is right there too.
Right. So create,
right,
double team, or make something happen, dunk on you. That's what I'm going with.
Yeah. But both players deserve a lot of credit, man. Paul Pierce is just a highly, highly, highly skilled player that should not be taken lightly or laughed at for his remarks.
Giving credit and then saying you're better than the other dude, I think I'm not saying he doesn't deserve credit, but I do think that D Wade did more with less.
I don't know, man. Paul, again, you're like skipping all the times Paul Pierce carried Antonio Walker into the playoffs.
But Antoine Walker, they were both jacking up threes. They were the only two players just shooting threes. They were the original Phoenix Suns, the original Houston Rockets.
Right, and I read you his numbers. They were all phenomenal.
You got to put up numbers when you jacking threes like that. They both were just pulling, unconscious. There was nobody else on the team you could probably even name. And they were just jacking threes. And they did it for a while until finally I think they were really trying to win.
Well, Antoine Walker turned into trash fast.
Yeah, that's because Antoine was living that life.
You're right. He turned into
lifestyle.
trash real fast,
Yeah.
and that's what necessitated the move to get other help, which turned into Kevin Garnett and
They had to get Ray Allen, Kevin Garnett, and a formidable point guard, which is Rajon Rondo.
a rookie point guard.
Yeah, but he was good. And then Paul Pierce wins. That's a lot that has to happen. That's a lot. And Paul did put in some work. He hit some buckets. I'm not going to say he didn't deserve it or win a championship or earn it. I'm just saying I feel like Dwayne Wade did more with less, and I felt he was more explosive for a smaller period of time.
So did you look at win shares?
What's that?
It's a stat that they have that basically is some mathematical situation that tells you the amount of wins that a player may or may not be responsible for or whatever. But when you rank them, it ends up being these are the best players
Did you
at a particular time.
Did you find anything?
Yeah. So career NBA win shares for Paul Pierce is 150. That is 22nd all time. All right. Dwayne Wade, now this is going to be interesting as I scroll down. It could be higher. It could be lower. It's probably going to be higher, but this is win shares for Dwayne Wade. 162, 70th all time. Paul Pierce is 25th all time. So I don't know what that stat actually is. Actually, career NBA Paul Pierce 45th all time, and Dwayne Wade 45th all time with 120.6, and Paul Pierce 25th all time.
Now this makes up what now? You the number of shots you hit in the clutch? Like,
No.
It?
It's win shares. It's an all-encompassing stat that it really ranks. It's best used when trying to determine an MVP because it just shows your impact on the team in terms of wins.
What's the win shares for Harden and Giannis?
We don't have time. We'll look it up after the show. Okay. But again, so 45th all time for Dwayne Wade, and
I thought you didn't like analytics.
45th all time for Dwayne Wade. I like it when it helps my argument.
Did you just say,
I like it when it helps my argument.
Analytics.
25th all time for Paul Pierce. So, and I mean, the difference between 25th and 40th in NBA history is not that big. All right.